Guys, just any latest arrivals, just confirming that Jack is embargoed into noon tomorrow, please. And please don't ask a question without the microphone in hand. If you want the microphone, just give me a signal and we'll get it to you. If we're all good, we're all ready, we'll start with Adam, please.
Jack, just how tough was Wednesday night? What sort of response have you seen in the dressing room since then?
Yeah, difficult, really difficult night. I think clear for everyone to see. So we were in yesterday, purely to debrief and to look at it, highlight some things that we really have to do better individually and collectively. So a good, open and honest conversation between everybody to look back at it, to take some learnings from it and improve, which we need to do.
The head coach has come under quite a lot of criticism, as I'm sure you'll all be aware after Wednesday night. Are the players still behind the manager?
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that people are always going to try and drive between people, but there's one thing that I've learned, and that's look, in football, you down tools and you give up, nothing can work. You stick together, you fight, you give yourself a chance, which is certainly something that we're doing as a group. The manager's going to take heat. It's also us on the pitch that need to carry out and do better at carrying out the jobs that we're being asked to do. So the manager, as always, is going to take the most pressure. He's taken a lot of it on himself, as you do as a manager, but as players, there's got to be more accountability to perform better. I mean, if you look back at the other night, we have to be honest about individual actions and things that we didn't do well enough, and that's on doing your jobs and having yourself and holding yourself accountable and pride in your own job. The manager can't control things when you go over the line. You've got to go and get it, go and do the job and do it properly, which we didn't do enough at times the other night, and in games where we haven't given ourselves the platform or the opportunity to carry out what we're trying to achieve. So whilst the manager's going to take heat, we've spoke about players, we've spoke individually as players and as a group between us that, boys, you need to start doing better what's being asked of us, and that's separate from the manager. But as we all know, the manager takes the most responsibility, and he's doing that for us. He's taken that. We need to repay that, and we need to be better as a group.
Just when you mentioned there about players not down tools and still working hard, how hurtful have the accusations been that maybe some players have been accused of doing something along those lines?
I mean, it has to hurt. You've got to have pride in your job. At the end of the day, we're contracted to this club, regardless of the manager and who's in charge. It's your job, and it's a pride that you need to have in your own work to be better, to come in each day, even after difficult moments, to come in and do your job better and improve. It has to hurt, but it's got to be taken on the chin, and you've got to stick your chest out and get on with it. And the games come thick and fast at this football club. And when you have difficult moments, there's always an opportunity around the corner to put things right, and we need to start putting things right, and there's no better opportunity to do that than on Sunday.
Jack, just in terms of the game on Sunday, even so early into the season, would this game now fit into the must-win bracket? Because you can ill afford to go 9 points behind if you lose.
Yeah, I mean, you can quote any game as a must-win game. Of course it is. It's against our biggest and longest rivals. It's always a must-win. We know that, but it's also the best opportunity to show some character, to show something that probably people are doubting of us. In a young group, in a group with lots of changes, lots of new players coming in, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to put a show on and a performance that we really, really need to do in front of our fans that have obviously endured a lot, that have been through a lot, seen a lot of disappointment. That word obviously we hate, but we need to show it. And like I said, you can label it whatever you want. These games between the two are always must win.
Jack, there's a fair bit of speculation over your own future in the summer. Is that something you've had to speak to the head coach about, and if so?
No, it's it was fuel, if you like. I mean, we've spoke about it. I think everyone knows what I'm capable of doing. I think we've also spoke, and people have made their minds up on moments I could have done better, no more so than myself, which we spoke about. And I spoke to the manager in the summer. I knew that I was going to come under some pressure, and I was under some pressure. But that speculation, even through pre-season, for me, it was fuel. I'd made my decision up myself in the summer about what I wanted to do this year, and as I spoke about in previous interviews, it was not about walking away or finding a new challenge. It was, I want this place and my career here to finish or to be on my terms. Doesn't always work out that way, but that was my focus coming back into pre-season, to prove people wrong. Not even that really, just to be the goalkeeper I know I am, and to be able to help the team as much as I can. And thankfully I was able to show the manager that, and I guess repay that faith by performing well and hopefully trying to drag a few people with me and help push the group as much as I can.
As one of the senior players here, Jack, have you had to kind of take on a greater role with some of the new lads that have perhaps struggled in a short space of time?
No, I don't think a different role. For me, that's the way I sort of always am. I feel like I'm a good judge of character, or a good judge of someone's facial expressions or body language. When you come in, you can see when someone's a little bit, maybe feeling a little bit of pressure, which this club brings. You much rather that than somewhere that doesn't offer you the challenge and the pressure that this club brings. So yeah, you see it. I think a lot of the guys are new to this size of club and the demands. But it's a great opportunity for them to enjoy it. They need to embrace it with an open mind, with a lot of confidence, and just sort of play without fear, which maybe some are doing at the minute. And yeah, as a more experienced player, it's something that's important to remind them that as difficult as it can be at times, it's an incredible place to play football, and when it's good, it's one of the best on the planet. So that's the message that you're sort of trying to reinforce about what it can be, rather than what it can feel like at times. There's incredible moments just around the corner that they need to look forward to.
Steve?
Jack, there's been a lot said about lack of leadership amongst the team and on the pitch. It's extremely difficult for you as the goalkeeper. How does the team though find their voice and find that leadership? Because at times it's visible that the team's maybe more quiet than they should be, especially when the going gets tough. And in times like the Bruges game, where you lose an early goal, you need that leadership organisation, maybe just to say sit in and try and play our way back into the game. And instead of it doing that, it gets worse. And the manager's comment a wee bit on it. So how does the group find their voices during the game?
I think in the tough moments you do. I think in the tough moments you learn a lot about yourself. For us as a group, I think the admission's been made as far as we have less perhaps experience than we've done in the past in terms of players that have played at this level or played for the club. There's less, if you like, but it's an opportunity for new guys to sort of step up. The difficulty with nights like the other night were that we actually start the game on the front foot, and we start, and for a lot of the guys and a lot of the new guys as well, it's difficult when you experience those setbacks. It's probably something new. They've probably not felt the same level of intensity that other clubs, or perhaps clubs that they've been at before, bring. So it's a new experience. But these moments are the ones that define people. That you figure out a lot about each other. For us now, between now and the weekend, it's about trying to regain some confidence, trying to build some people back up, to allow them to express themselves and be themselves, come out of their shell a little bit more, and take the opportunity, of which Sunday is a great one, and one that it's a game where characters and experience and people can step up and announce themselves, and that's what we need to do on the weekend.
Jack, just on your own form, you've been exceptional, some world-class saves, and I remember you spoke earlier in the summer about your determination, just what you talked about to do it your way.
Yeah.
How do you feel about your form now, and how do you feel like you're back to your confident and performing self, which we've seen, and by your own admissions, maybe we're doing a wee bit, but everybody feels like this is the Jack Butland we know.
Obviously you can put a lot of words to it. For me it's
Yeah, sure.
I'm I'm a bit longer in the tooth. Do you know what I mean? I'm not old, and I'm still probably don't even believe I'm in my prime at 32. I've still got a lot left in me, So it's one that you can sometimes overthink. Probably did overthink it last year. You can start to question at times, but sometimes you just need to remind yourself that I put in the work. I work hard. I try and improve. I look at things that I could have done better from any game that I've played in, good, bad, or indifferent. I put in the work, and sometimes you've just got to remind yourself that you are a top goalkeeper, and you believe in yourself, and sometimes it's as simple as that. And sometimes it doesn't happen that way. You know, sometimes football and goalkeeping's got a way of reminding you that it's still tough. But right now I feel in a good place. I feel very determined. I feel very focused on the job and what I'm trying to do and trying to help the team. The challenge of a new manager and obviously what we're going through as well, and being asked to do different things is something that even at 32 you can be asked to do new things, which I feel very capable of doing, so which has been enjoyable. So I'm enjoying the challenge. I'm enjoying the challenge that this club brings. I always have done, but just feeling in a good place, feel fit, feel sharp, and getting on really well with the goalie coach. I think he's been a really good addition as well. He's another fresh, experienced face from really successful time at Arsenal, and there's some great goalkeepers, so learning a lot from him still. So just being open-minded to improve still. Just feel good, and hopefully that continues.
Tom and then Alison, please.
Jack, you talk about the players, the need to show accountability, pride in their own performance, not showing any fear about it. Where is the evidence that they're capable of doing these things? Where is the evidence that they have it in them?
I think when a club like ourselves identifies players, they identify them because they believe that there's talent there and they've seen it. So they wouldn't be here otherwise. And that's the mentality that we need to have about this, is that they've also been given an opportunity to play at a club like this. And that's the way I saw it when I joined. It's an opportunity and an honour to play for a club like this. And not to get bogged down in it, and also not to overthink it. Remind yourself that you're a good player. You're here for a reason. We have to trust that, and we have to trust that they're capable of doing it. And I believe from seeing the guys that there is a lot of ability, and we have brought in a lot of ability. Transferring that from the training pitch and onto the pitch is a different story, So that's something that, as a group, we need to stick together. We need to encourage. We need to push people, and continue working hard. And when we do that, and it will turn, and things will be better. We also know that there's a time constraint at this club, and it needs to happen now. So that's the difficult thing with obviously new players coming in and existing players, because we're all in this. But when you're trying to change things and new manager and new system and stuff like that, which all the boys are buying into, by the way, and all the boys are really trying their hardest to do right, that you also remember to play football, play with freedom, play with a smile on your face, and remind yourself that you're at a fantastic club and a great opportunity and a platform to play, which sometimes can get lost under the pressure of it. So just to continue to keep encouraging these boys, give them the opportunity, and people will step up, people will show, and hopefully it's on the weekend.
How difficult is it for the newcomers when they have a dressing room where the captain has been dropped, and there's been so much talk about that, where arguably your best player last season, Nico Raskin, is dropped, and we don't know what's going on there. Hamsik and not wanting to come on the other week. What kind of culture is in the dressing room right now?
I understand what you're trying to say. At this football club, things are always heightened. Things are always and can be blown out of proportion. It's the goldfish bowl that is Glasgow and everything that comes with football. I can assure you that the group is a group that's connected, a group that is trying desperately to get things right and to get things back on track and to do what's being asked of them. During the transfer window, there was all these sorts of things going on. There's always all these sorts of things that can happen. Players, some are going to want away. There's lots of players that also want to join the club. And there's also some players here that are desperate to stay and desperate to make things right. So it's always a difficult thing to manage, but as a group, it's about sticking together, sticking to the plan, because that's the only way that you can turn things, is being together. So the group is very much together. I'm confident of that. And the greatest example of that is Tav. The fact that he has found himself out of the team, still pushes everybody else is in the team, is still trying his best to, along with all of us, to try and get the best out of everybody. So the group is very much together, and I'm confident with that.
Alison and Scott, please.
When it has been as toxic as what we have seen over the past few weeks, and there's so much noise around individual players, how do you plot a route out of that?
Just focus on the job at hand. Just focus on the job at hand. As I just said there, when you're at this club, there's always so many opinions. Things get blown out of proportion at times. Sometimes things are bang on. But as a player and as an individual, just narrowing it down, put the blinkers on, and just get back to doing what you need to do as an individual. Working hard, coming in, being on time, doing the job that's being asked of you, helping your mate alongside you with his job, trying to help him. And it's block it out. I find it easier perhaps to block it out than maybe some others. But really when the going gets tough, you've just got to knuckle down. You've just got to embrace it and work hard. And if you do that and you do that as a group, then things will come good.
Last one to Scott, please.
Jack, how convinced are you that this manager is the right guy to lead the team and the club forward? What gives you that belief?
It's again, I'm not going to have words sort of put in my mouth because I think I've answered that question. It's together is the only way things can be successful. You know, so if you're gonna try and separate that and separate the manager and the players, then that in turn is just not allowing things to develop and to get better. As players, as I've said, we're together and behind the manager. Because the quickest way for things to go wrong is if you go the other way. Nothing works that way, regardless of who's in charge. So, as players, we're paid to play for this club. We're paid to come in, to work hard and do what the hierarchy, the manager and the club is asking of us. And that's the bottom line, that's all that's being asked. I've said, and we are with the manager, I've said it before, the only way that we can be successful is if we're together. If things beyond that change, that's above my station and nothing to do with me. So that's the simple message for this group, is to work hard, is to do what's being asked of you, to do the minimum at least of what's expected of you. And if everyone does that, then it gives us the opportunity to be successful.
Okay guys, thank you very much everyone.
Thank you. Cheers guys.